Google employee just got federally charged for turning inside information into $1 million payday. Not on stocks, not on options, on a prediction market bet about a single word. And if you think this doesn't affect you, you're not paying attention. Here's what I'm going to show you. Exactly how this scheme worked, why it exposes a fatal flaw in prediction markets, and what the DOJ's response signals about the future of platforms you might be using right now. Let's get into it. The defendant is a senior software engineer at Google. According to federal prosecutors, he had access to internal information about upcoming changes to Google Search, specifically what new language features would be added and when they'd launch. Now here's where it gets interesting. Polymarket, the crypto-based prediction market that exploded during the 2024 election, runs contracts on virtually everything, including obscure tech announcements. There was a market asking, will Google add a specific search feature by a certain date? Most people betting on this were guessing, speculating based on rumors in Google's history. But this engineer, he allegedly knew the exact answer. He knew when features were shipping because he worked on the team. So he placed massive bets, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars across multiple contracts, on outcomes he already knew were certain. The result? Over $1 million in profit, from information that cost him nothing but his job access. Stop and think about that for a second. This isn't some genius trading strategy. This isn't alpha. This is the digital equivalent of betting on a horse race after it's finished, and it reveals something critical about prediction markets that nobody wants to talk about. These platforms have an information asymmetry problem that's almost impossible to solve. Polymarket processes hundreds of millions in volume. Their edge is supposed to be the wisdom of crowds. Thousands of people betting creates accurate probability pricing. That's the theory. But what happens when someone in the crowd knows the future? The entire model breaks. With stocks, we have decades of insider trading law. We have compliance departments. We have trading windows and blackout periods. Companies monitor their employees' brokerage accounts. Prediction markets have almost none of this infrastructure. Polymarket runs on crypto. It's pseudonymous by design. There's no centralized compliance team calling your employer to verify you don't have material non-public information about whether Google will add Swahili to search. The platform literally cannot prevent this kind of exploitation at scale. And now they're learning that lesson publicly. Here's the pattern interrupt you need to hear. The DOJ isn't treating this as some minor regulatory violation. They're charging wire fraud. They're treating prediction market manipulation with the same severity as securities fraud. That's a massive shift. For years, the prediction market industry has operated in a gray zone. Polymarket moved offshore to avoid U.S. gambling and securities laws. Kalshi has been fighting the CFTC in court for the right to offer election contracts. The whole space has been playing regulatory arbitrage. This case ends that ambiguity. The Department of Justice is saying clearly, if you use inside information to profit on prediction markets, we will prosecute you federally. The platform being crypto-based doesn't protect you. Operating offshore doesn't protect you. We will find you. And here's what's not being reported. This case was probably easy to build. Blockchain transactions are permanent and traceable. The defendant allegedly used wallets that could be linked to his identity. The timing of his bets correlated perfectly with internal Google development timelines. Prosecutors likely have emails, Slack messages, code commits, a complete paper trail connecting his access to his trades. The crypto community loves saying, code is law. Turns out, code is also evidence. So what does this mean for you? If you're trading prediction markets, understand that the regulatory environment just changed overnight. What felt like the Wild West now has sheriffs. Every major bet you make on these platforms could theoretically be scrutinized if the outcome was predictable to insiders. If you work at a tech company, understand that your information access is now a legal liability. Knowledge about product launches, feature releases, partnership announcements. If there's a prediction market contract that correlates, betting on it could end your career and your freedom. And if you're watching the broader crypto space, this is a preview. The government is building prosecution frameworks for decentralized platforms. Polymarket today, DeFi protocols tomorrow. The infrastructure for enforcement is being constructed case by case. One Google engineer allegedly turned his job access into $1 million score. He's now facing federal charges, a destroyed career, and potential prison time. The money's gone. The precedent remains. Prediction markets are powerful tools, but they only work if information asymmetry is minimized. This case proves that's harder than anyone admitted. If you want to stay ahead of cases like this, the ones that actually reshape markets, subscribe now. I break down what matters, skip what doesn't. Hit the button.